I wanted to talk with you today because you and I met in person at HealCon a little over a month ago. And we had a really impactful conversation. It was impactful for me. I
Oh,
always
yes.
love to hear from our members. What was really impactful was the conversation that we had around how there were a couple of us in the conversation, how you came to get into the holistic nutrition field. And I didn't get a chance to hear your whole story. So I would love to hear, like, what was your journey? How did you get here?
Oh, that was actually a long journey. It didn't catch me right away. It was just the way I grew up. I thought it's normal because I'm growing up in a Mediterranean household. So for me, nutrition was always there. So I grew into it because my mother and my family had always a vegetable garden and we ate from the farmers and fresh seafood and fresh meat. And it was just a lifestyle, right? It's like our passion to have this Mediterranean lifestyle with everything around it to present the food beautiful and smell all those spices. And it's kind of a passion of mine because I love to cook too. But then I actually went in the business industry and I worked as a business analyst, well, later on, but I was still young. And then kind of the turning point was one of them was my dad's accident in 2002, because my mom works also in the industry. And I saw what impact it had on my dad's health and everything around me. It was just really amazing. And it was really it changed everything. My dad's car accident he had. And now he's 80 and he's still strong. And it is hard to be lost sometimes in the regular medicine. There is no solution and you're just a number. There is no passion or no understanding and you get passed around. And I think that was really frustrating. And seeing that really woke me up to it. But then I still worked in my job because I never thought it would be something for me in that time, because I had my earnings and I was just in business and I had my job, my career. But then we moved to North America and I was a student again, and I just saw the difference in food. And also I tried fast food myself and I noticed it didn't agree with me that well, but I indulged also with that, I must say, because it was new for me and I like to try things. And I was a student, so I didn't really have time to cook. And I just didn't feel right. And then, of course, I eat again my diet, and it wasn't it. But then I worked a lot later on after I graduated, also in the business analytic field. And, I loaded up on coffee and quick from one conference to the other. And I always was really busy. And actually, I was becoming the person I don't want to become. And then during COVID, I had some downtime and that's it. I literally woke up overnight and that's it. I said, no, I'm not like happy anymore. I need to change, make a change. I can't be always tired and have brain fog. And it was just like, why I'm not doing that? This is what I'm actually believing in. Because and that's it. Actually, that was it.
That was your decision to pursue nutrition as a
Yes.
as an education and as a
Hmm.
career.
Correct.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how, because I kind of had a little bit of a similar arc,
Hmm.
if you will. I also grew up with the Mediterranean diet. My family is from the Middle East. I took for granted the foods that were in my diet.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until we moved back to the United States and I started eating, like you said, fast foods and
Hmm.
as an adult, up for this thing or that thing. And I just never felt right. I never felt
Hmm.
right until I really said, enough is enough. I have to change what I'm doing. And it was so interesting when I was going through nutrition school, and maybe you had the same kind of experience as I'm learning about the things that would make me feel better. I'm going, oh, yeah, I know how to do this. I grew up with this, right? And you kind
Exactly.
of,
Yeah.
it's like going back to your roots, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a lot of traditional, cultural, it's
yeah,
also lifestyle and culture, I would say, right? And it's
yeah.
like in North America, we don't have time to enjoy the meal. We don't sit on table or surround our families or friends. We just load up like quick. Everything has to go quick. We don't sit
Yeah.
down and actually enjoy the smell from the food or the decoration, how it's presented. And this is, I think, just we took it, like you said, for granted. It was
Yeah.
just, we know it, but then we
Yeah.
actually didn't live like it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Hmm.
almost like we forgot and then we were
Yeah,
reminded again. Yeah.
exactly.
And what an awakening, right? To
Yeah.
realize
Oh,
that
yeah.
you have that and
Hmm.
access to that and that you can make it happen again is wonderful and that you can teach it to others. I think
Yes.
that's the beauty of the whole industry is taking what we've learned and then helping other people feel
Hmm.
better as well. So I mentioned earlier that we met at the conference. You're a member of our conference planning committee. Thank
Hmm.
you so much for serving our members in that way. And so I want to hear how you felt about HealCon. Did you have a good time? And what were the highlights for you?
Oh, besides the speakers, they were incredible, and also the vendors, everything was wonderful. It was the connection. I would never think about it. I walk into a room and I felt like really welcome, understood. This was really important and relatable. Like you said, I'm pretty sure when we shared our stories, where we coming from, it was like often had an impact, an emotional impact. And everybody at one point share a tier, one or two, right? I think that was really because it's a passion. It's not just a job or something what you just do. We all had an intentional. We had an intention to do that, and that actually everybody has the same feeling like me. I felt like it's like my nutrition family or my NNP family. And I felt totally understood and welcome. It was not just a conference, it
Mhm.
was more than that. And yeah, that was the point what I loved.
I love to hear that. And I felt the same way the first
Hmm.
time I went to the conference was back in 2007. I had just joined the organization and I didn't know anybody at all. And the number of people who came over, they were so warm. I
Hmm.
think the word that really sticks with me that you said is intention, intentional. Nobody nobody just happens to find their way into this industry.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
deliberate choice. It's a very deliberate choice. Unlike many other types of occupations, you really have to love this to do this, right?
Yeah.
And passion is a great word to attach to it. I think all of our members are so passionate about what they do, and I just love that about our field. So, we have a lot of people who are interested in our industry,
Hmm.
interested in our organization. What would you say to someone who is thinking about joining NANP, but they're kind of on the fence? What would you say to that person?
Oh, that's actually really easy. It is really important to be credible. If you want to stay credible in the industry and relevant, that you become also board certified and credible. I think in industry it's really important because the nutrition field is exploding everywhere, and a lot of courses are offered with not the rigorous extent what we were trained, and we kind of want to differentiate us from them. And if you want to drive in this industry, I think it's really important to become board certified. I noticed that, and I am just studying to become board certified. It is, yeah, that's important for me because right now everything is changing and it's booming. And I think when we grow, it's even better for us
Mhm.
when we have that community, and also you can always study, you can attend continuing education. What I love the NNP is offering also to stay in within your scope of practice. This
Mm.
is a really big one too, that we have some legal advice from Laura Waldo, which is really great. And there is so much more what we can do together, right? When we grow, and it's also good to become a job when you're board certified. So I know I noticed that how important it is on my own. So that's why, yeah. I think I don't need to say more. That's
I,
the
I
most
think you
point,
said
but I
it
think it's
beautifully.
important.
I think
Yeah.
you said it beautifully.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was actually hired when I was hired almost 20 years ago. It was specifically to bring on the board certification and to get the credentialing process going. And so I've had the opportunity to watch it bloom. And I agree with you. I think that's a real differentiator
Yes.
is making sure that you get that board certification under your belt. It has been a game changer for so many of our members. I mean, some people have landed some great jobs that they never thought they would get. And it was specifically because they were board certified.
Mm.
And it does make us competitive in the marketplace,
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
So yeah, well, I'm so grateful to you for being a member, being an active member, serving on our conference planning committee, coming to the conference. I'm so looking forward to seeing you again next year. We're going to be in Irvine. Should be a wonderful time. And thank you for taking a few minutes to talk with me, Yvonne. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for having me.